an ancient book with mysteries yet to be unraveled, pages filled with warnings forbidden and even removed from the Bible. What does this book of giants hold that has intrigued the whole world? Join us in exploring this in today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to catch the most mysterious and mystical stories from the ancient world. Welcome to our channel. Reflecting on human history, perhaps images of prophets and great battles mentioned in the Bible come to mind first. But did you know there are ancient stories forgotten by time, revealing secrets of an era that has never been fully told? Among them stands out the story of the Nephilim, giant beings, descendants of the forbidden union between fallen angels and humans. These beings not only testify to the intersection of divinity and humanity, but also unveil mystical conflicts between good and evil, where fear and divine power clash in fierce battles. The Nephilim are mentioned not only as a warning of the consequences of crossing natural boundaries, but also as a reminder of the diversity and mystery within ancient civilizations. According to some studies, the story of the Nephilim appears in the Book of Enoch, an ancient text excluded from canonical Bibles, yet it has profoundly influenced many cultures and beliefs across centuries. The Book of Enoch opened up another dimension of human history, taking readers into a world where supernatural forces and humans converge, creating beings that surpass our understanding. Source: Encyclopedia of Ancient Myths. Join us as we delve deeper into the mysteries and hidden messages within these ancient tales. The giants of legend, led by figures such as Hoya and Mawe, are powerful and complex beings. Though not embodiments of evil, their actions, from uncontrolled consumption of resources to preying upon humanity, pushed their world into chaos. These creatures reflect complex moral situations, reminding us of the dangers when power goes unchecked. Accounts of the Nephilim and giants have been preserved over centuries in various forms, including the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Mani manuscripts. These texts provide a unique perspective on the conflict between power and moral responsibility. The Book of the Giants truly poses questions about power and control, especially when such power falls into the hands of beings indifferent to good and evil. Source: Scrolls of the Lost. However, for reasons still unclear, these manuscripts were excluded from mainstream history. In 1947, a shepherd discovered a cave near the Dead Sea that contained ancient fragments of texts about giants, as recorded in this book. The scrolls, dating back to the 2nd–3rd centuries BCE, reveal stories of a mythical world and the struggles between angels and humans. They are not just myths, they also contain questions about morality and power. Having been removed from mainstream knowledge, the book has become part of a mystical treasure trove, hinting at secrets of an ancient past, mysteries accessible only to those patient and passionate enough to decipher them. These ancient texts, dating back thousands of years, are invaluable legacies preserved at Qumran, a barren land seemingly forgotten by time to allow their survival. Since 1947, thousands of ancient manuscript fragments have been discovered in 11 hidden caves, including most of the books of the Old Testament, offering profound and rich insights into the biblical text tradition. These scrolls not only help reconstruct Jewish history, but also unravel new aspects of ancient religious beliefs and thought. They raise questions not only about the evolution of religion, but also about how sacred texts were preserved across millennia within the mysterious space of Qumran. This helps us better understand the intersection of culture and religion in an ancient era. In addition to canonical texts, the caves at Qumran contain mysterious manuscripts that challenge traditional understandings of history and faith. Documents like the Community Rule and the War Scroll reveal unique insights into the life of an ancient religious community, recording their rules, rituals, and beliefs, and offering a vivid picture of the community's spiritual life. The Community Rule, one of the key documents, describes strict moral and disciplinary principles, reflecting the community's desire to maintain purity and unity, as though living in a world separate from the surrounding society. Additionally, the War Scroll records visions of the impending conflict between light and darkness, a symbolic battle aimed at purification and preparation for a new era of faith and righteousness. These manuscripts are like a secret door opening to a part of religious history, where each line carries powerful messages of faith and mission. Source: the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Bible. Among the diverse landscape of ancient texts, there exists a little-known manuscript that holds a story full of power and significance, like a hidden gem buried under the dust of time. This story not only enriches our knowledge of the ancient worldview, but also unveils unexplored depths, helping us better understand their spiritual experiences. This manuscript is unlike familiar canonical texts. Instead, it is a unique story imbued with mysticism and revealing much about ancient psychology and beliefs. It not only contains reflections, but also conveys spiritual values and ancient ways of life, reflecting the desire to seek truth and profound understanding of existence. A stream of knowledge leaves not just a mark on our minds, but also opens the perspectives of those who wrote it. Source: ancient mysteries and sacred texts. This story helps us gain a deeper understanding of how ancient people confronted issues of faith, morality, and the meaning of life. In this way, it not only enriches the vision of spiritual history, but also broadens our understanding of how ancient cultures shaped their beliefs and values. Imagine a world where the boundary between the divine and humanity becomes blurred, where giants walk among humans, bearing witness to an era of chaos and darkness. This is the scene painted by the ancient, mysterious Book of Giants, a world dominated by power and despair, where humanity's fragile balance is being tested. According to the story, the giants are the offspring of a forbidden union between fallen angels and earthly women. This unnatural combination granted them extraordinary strength and size, but also created a colossal threat to the human world. They embody the fusion of divine power and the corruptible elements of humanity, resulting in a supernatural strength that also harbors seeds of conflict and downfall. The appearance of these beings ushered in a tumultuous era, disrupting social order and leading to devastating conflicts. They are the embodiment of a time when the laws of nature were upended, leading to wars and destruction. Source: forgotten legends and ancient myths. Their existence plunged humanity into a whirlpool of chaos, a reminder of the consequences of crossing the boundaries between the divine and human. The Book of Giants stands out not only for its ancient origins, but also for its unique content, reflecting the profound corruption of both humanity and these beings. These pages tell haunting tales of insatiable greed and acts of cruelty, including scenes of cannibalism. Each story is written with intense force, drawing readers into a dark world where destruction and salvation intertwine. The uniqueness of this book lies not only in the prophetic dreams experienced by the giants, but also in the omens of an impending, destructive flood. These dreams are clear signs of the fragility of their existence and their role within the vast universe. The Bible records that there were giants on the earth in Genesis 6:4, and this book is the key that opens a door to that mysterious world. Source: the giants of old forgotten texts. Divinity and humanity merge into a chaotic dance where each decision contributes to the collective tragedy, a story of ultimate salvation amidst inevitable destruction. This book is not just a mythical tale, but a warning, reminding us of the latent power within humanity and the severe consequences when that power is corrupted. It blends mysticism and reality in a strange way, allowing readers not only to feel fear, but also to absorb profound lessons about the thin line between good and evil, life and destruction. This epic story unfolds before and after the Great Flood, leading readers into a world full of mystery. At the center of the story is Enoch, a man of virtue and wisdom, who becomes the bridge between the divine world and the giants. Characters such as Hoya, Ha, and Maui are vivid, with intertwined fates as divine punishment looms. The book, though fragmented into scattered texts, evokes familiar biblical imagery, opening up a mythical world where history and legend intertwine, creating an enchanting tapestry of events. Despite its profound content and significant meanings, the Book of Giants was excluded from the Bible. This exclusion was not random. It reflects part of the process of forming the Bible, where religious leaders faced the challenging task of selecting texts that aligned with the community's beliefs and doctrines. Texts like the Book of Giants, with unusual and controversial content, may not have met the necessary standards. The process of constructing the Bible required texts to have broad consensus on origin, authenticity, and alignment with the community's core values and beliefs. This book, with stories of angelic and human unions, corruption and destruction, may have been considered ambiguous and conflicting with ideas of purity and virtue that religious leaders sought to uphold. Decisions about which books to include in the Bible involve not only historical authenticity, but also the goal of maintaining unity in doctrine and religious practice. Source: the canon of the Bible and its early history. For this reason, works like the Book of Giants were excluded, not only due to their complex content, but also because they did not align with the core values that religions of that time aimed to establish. These texts gradually fell into obscurity, no longer part of the mainstream flow of religious history. This book was excluded from the Bible because it did not meet the strict standards set by religious leaders. To be recognized, a text had to originate from an apostle or someone closely associated with one, be widely accepted by the Christian community, and contain teachings that reflected moral and spiritual values. Interestingly, this book became integrated into the tradition of Manichaeism, a religion founded by Mani. Mani, who grew up in southern Mesopotamia within a Judeo-Christian sect called the Alans, may have been the author of this version of the book. His religious vision began at age 12, guiding him on his own path and eventually leading him to found his own religion. In Mani's version, the prophet and founder of Manichaeism, the story of the giants reappears, adding more mystery and complexity to what was recorded in the Dead Sea Scrolls. This book, written in an ancient Aramaic dialect called Syak, unveils a world filled with mythical beings, where demons, after being cast out of heaven, descend upon earth to sow chaos and destruction. The story is not only a battle between divine forces and darkness, but also a profound struggle between heaven and earth, between salvation and annihilation. In this battle, the archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel are not only prominent figures in religious legends, but also leaders in the fight against the incursion of darkness. They lead the angelic forces in epic battles determined to restore the balance between light and darkness. The confrontation between the archangels and demons reveals eternal conflicts, symbolic events that impact not only the universe, but also tie to humanity's destiny. Source: Manichaeism and the battle between light and darkness. The story is not merely a mythical conflict, it reflects enduring conflicts in human history, addressing issues of morality, choices, and the consequences of actions. It raises questions about the division between good and evil, as well as the role of the giants, beings of extraordinary strength, yet who harbor the potential to disrupt natural order and plunge the world into chaos. This battle is not only symbolic of great conflicts between supernatural forces, but is also tied to the decisions humanity faces in daily life. The giants in the book possess not only extraordinary strength, but also divine knowledge. They use their power to wreak havoc and destruction instead of aiding humanity. The story revolves around two main characters, Hoya and Ha, who are haunted by dreams foretelling impending disaster, including a great flood. Enoch explains that the flood is a cleansing meant to eradicate the giants and the wicked on earth. Meanwhile, a group of angels, the Watchers, abandoned their original duties and succumbed to human temptation, resulting in unions with humans that birthed the Nephilim, giant offspring. These Nephilim began to ravage the earth, placing humanity on the brink of extinction. Their presence created a chaotic world, destroying both the environment and society. A glimmer of hope appeared when some giants began reorganizing into tribes, yearning for order and safety in a chaotic world. Dreams of repentance and prophecies from the past started infiltrating their minds. Mai, one of the tribal leaders, shared his prophetic dreams of an upcoming great flood and strange names in his visions, including Noah and his sons. Eventually, Oya, a powerful and influential figure, debated with Mai over the meaning of these dreams. He believed the dreams were not warnings for the giants, but for the fallen angels, like Azazel, who had led humanity into sin and were now facing divine punishment. Although the giants endured an eerie silence under Oya's control, doubt continuously surfaced in Ma's heart. The unease about the future and the consequences of their actions made Ma feel something was amiss, in how they blamed their ancestors. As the nightmarish dreams eroded faith, Ma decided to seek out Enoch, renowned for his profound wisdom, for answers to these troubling omens. Despite Hoya's, the powerful giant's, objections, Ma was determined to go. However, when Enoch could not fully decipher the dreams, the anger and tension among the giants reached a peak. Under the might of the angel Gabriel and the horror of a great flood, the giants faced inevitable destruction. In his rage and the loss of his brother, Hoya fought Leviathan, a sea monster, but could not escape the wrath of the divine. Finally, as Hoya grew weary and was nearly swallowed by the flood, he realized that regret could not save them. The entire world was submerged, leaving only Noah and the creatures saved on the ark. The giants, once rulers of the world, became cursed phantoms, unable to find peace in the afterlife. The Book of Giants is a mystical work with many versions, each bringing unique details and messages. The first version was discovered in the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947, written in ancient Aramaic, while another version is associated with Mani, the founder of the Gnostic religion. However, both versions are severely fragmented, leaving only a small portion of the story and its mysterious message. The story revolves around the giants and the crimes they committed, as well as the destruction they faced. While details vary between versions, one common thread is Enoch's warning of the judgment these beings would endure for their sins. However, the ending remains open, leaving readers to speculate about the fate of Ma and Hoya, pivotal figures in the story. The absence of certain details in the texts only adds to the book's mystique, making it appealing to those seeking ancient mysteries, conflicts between angels and monsters, between divinity and humanity. Although the ending of Hoya and Ha may be predictable, a Manichaean version presents a more definitive conclusion, with a fierce battle between Hoya and Ha, two descendants of Samyaza, and the sea monster Leviathan, opening up a confrontation between good and evil. Enoch, the central figure, serves as a mysterious symbol, not directly involved in events but acting as a messenger from God. In the Book of Enoch, he is portrayed as a unique character, not dying but taken up to heaven by God, making him the subject of much speculation. With his special relationship with God, Enoch became an emblem of holiness and reconciliation between heaven and humanity, especially in conveying God's decision to the fallen angels who created the Nephilim, the giant and sinful beings. Though Enoch offers hope and a chance for redemption, the fallen angels' refusal seals their fate, rendering the story tragic and haunting. Enoch, the central figure, serves as a mysterious symbol, not directly involved in events but acting as a messenger from God. In the Book of Enoch, he is portrayed as a unique character, not dying but taken up to heaven by God, making him the subject of much speculation. With his special relationship with God, Enoch became an emblem of holiness and reconciliation between heaven and humanity, especially in conveying God's decision to the fallen angels who created the Nephilim, the giant and sinful beings. Though Enoch offers hope and a chance for redemption, the fallen angels' refusal seals their fate, rendering the story tragic and haunting. In this role, Enoch is seen as a symbol of mediation between heaven and humanity, between judgment and the chance for redemption, though the ultimate outcome remains punishment for those who strayed. In this apocalyptic context, Enoch is a remarkable figure, not only for his righteousness but also for his profound wisdom. In a world facing corruption and violence, he becomes a beacon, guiding the way of justice and divine understanding. Enoch's righteousness, the primary factor in his ascension to heaven, is not only a personal reward, but a testament to faith in justice and the greatness of righteous actions, even in the darkest circumstances. He is not merely a messenger of divine messages, but a symbol of hope for those who still believe in God's justice. Meanwhile, the giants, described as Nephilim in the Book of Enoch, reflect the dark side of corruption and degradation. These beings, with their immense size and strength, not only defile the world they inhabit, but also embody the decay of human values. They are beings devoid of justice and reason, driven by base instincts and desires, having lost all human dignity. Their destructive and ruthless nature serves as a warning about the collapse of morality and natural order, which, if unchecked, could lead the world into annihilation. The Nephilim giants in this story can be seen as symbols of the temptations of power and unchecked ambition, elements that can strip humanity of its purity and lead to utter ruin. The threat they pose is not only physical but also moral, shattering fundamental values and turning humans into beings incapable of discerning right from wrong. In this context, Enoch stands as a model of perseverance in upholding morality. In summary, the character of Enoch and the story of the giants serve as a powerful metaphor for the eternal struggle between good and evil, justice and corruption. The contrast between Enoch, a symbol of righteousness and wisdom, and the giants, representing corruption and violence, reflects humanity's internal conflicts and the complex relationship between free will and fate. This story, with its profound symbolism and unanswered questions, continues to draw the attention of scholars and religious devotees, offering deep insights into the universe, human nature, and our relationship with the divine. A unique aspect of the Book of Giants is its portrayal of these beings with a more humanized approach, vividly expressing emotions and concerns similar to those of humans. Rather than merely being monstrous and brutal, the giants in this story are depicted as entities capable of feeling fear, doubt, and a yearning for salvation. Among them, Ma stands out, seeking guidance and resolving his issues, highlighting a powerful human element and a capacity for change in a world on the brink of destruction. The story not only depicts destruction, but also the character's inner struggles, underscoring a desire for transformation and salvation, though it remains overshadowed by the darkness of corruption and judgment. However, some critics may argue that the actions of Mai and the other giants did not stem from sincere faith or a desire for forgiveness, but were mainly driven by selfishness and a desire for personal salvation. This difference in how the giants are depicted in the Book of Giants and other sources, such as the Dead Sea Scrolls, raises profound questions about human nature, repentance, and the process of seeking salvation. Can the giants change and find redemption, or are they bound by fate due to their past actions? This moral ambiguity not only adds complexity to the story but also urges readers to reflect on the nature of good and evil, personal choices, and the capacity for transformation. This tale is not merely a distinction between right and wrong, but a lesson on sacrifice, responsibility, and the potential for change, highlighting the internal struggles faced by every individual, whether giant or mortal. The portrayal of the giants in the Book of Giants reflects not only their brutal actions, but also a deep concern for their own survival and prosperity. This self-centered attitude highlights their lack of awareness of the consequences of their actions, as well as a lack of genuine remorse for the sins they committed. This explains why their prayers were unanswered, and they ultimately faced final punishment and destruction. Despite knowing they had made grave mistakes, the giants were unable to overcome their ego and ignorance about the scale and impact of their actions. The inclusion of Gilgamesh in the book adds another layer of complexity to the story, linking it to Middle Eastern mythology, particularly the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh. Integrating such a character not only enriches the cultural backdrop of the story, but also evokes broader connections with other ancient mythological traditions. In his own epic, Gilgamesh is a powerful king, yet also a seeker of wisdom and mortality, which adds depth to the story of the giants and their relationship with ancient values. This highlights the book's interaction with various cultures and beliefs, showcasing the richness and diversity of the cultural influences it might have absorbed. The presence of Gilgamesh in the text about the giants not only depicts his strength and power, but also emphasizes his doubt when faced with divine authority. This can be seen as a reminder of the supremacy and unquestionable nature of God in the Bible. Although Gilgamesh is a legendary figure known for his extraordinary strength and resilience, even he must exercise caution before the boundless power of the divine. This sends a powerful message to humanity. No matter how powerful or brave they are, they cannot surpass the will of God. The stark contrast between the giants' concern for their own survival and the character of Gilgamesh further highlights the difference in how strength and security are perceived. The giants, despite being powerful and mighty, are obsessed with personal protection, focusing on preserving their existence regardless of the consequences for the world around them. In contrast, Gilgamesh, although a brave and almost divine being, does not hesitate to face great challenges, demonstrating a deep understanding of the transience of life and the inevitability of fate. This not only adds depth to the story, but also invites readers to reflect on the relationship between humanity and the divine, as well as the balance between personal power and adherence to cosmic laws. In the famous Mesopotamian epic, the Epic of Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh is portrayed as a character of superhuman strength, always yearning to conquer immortality. This quest leads him through a journey filled with encounters with gods and monsters, culminating in profound understanding of the finiteness of human life and the true nature of immortality. Ultimately, he realizes that immortality cannot be achieved through power or defiance of fate, but through acceptance of life's transience and the embrace of noble spiritual values. In the Dead Sea Scrolls version of the Book of Giants, Gilgamesh also plays an important role as a symbol of strength and wisdom. He reassures Oya about the terrifying visions in his dreams, affirming that these visions are not aimed at the giants, but are actually warnings to the leaders of the world. Gilgamesh provides a sense of guidance and clarity amid the chaos and pervasive fear, helping the characters confront the great mysteries of fate, power, and their own existence. With his calm demeanor and profound insight, Gilgamesh becomes a guiding light during dark and tumultuous times. The events in the story not only highlight the dire situation of the giants, but also emphasize the significance of Enoch as an intermediary between divine beings and humans. In the chaotic and desperate context of the giants, their seeking guidance from Enoch, a human, not a divine being, is remarkable. This not only reflects the deep desperation of the giants, but also affirms Enoch's special role in bridging different worlds, the divine realm and the human world. Enoch, with his wisdom and close relationship with heavenly powers, symbolizes understanding and justice, making him the only one the giants could turn to during their crisis. While the giants grapple with despair and inevitable punishment, they realize that only one person, Enoch, can help them comprehend the significance of their actions and the impending judgment. This underscores the importance of Enoch, not just in the story of the giants, but in the entire apocalyptic context, where salvation or doom can be determined by the interaction between humans and the divine. Mars' journey to meet Enoch is a particularly noteworthy part of the story, depicted as a cosmic journey through various realms and trials. Mars' need to fly past the sun to reach Enoch's abode not only highlights his deep desire for answers, but also reflects a strong determination amid despair and uncertainty. This cosmic journey adds to the story's mystique and grandeur, affirming Enoch's crucial role as a beacon of wisdom in a turbulent, chaotic world. In the Book of Enoch, Enoch's journey through dangerous places and various realms guided by angels also establishes a connection to Mars' journey. Enoch, often depicted as a being capable of flight, shares this ability with the giants in the Dead Sea Scrolls, suggesting it as an inherited trait from their angelic ancestors. Although these giants show signs of awareness and civilization, they lack understanding of the world's natural laws, as evidenced by their ignorance when flying close to the sun, a dangerous act that ultimately leads to disaster. This ignorance adds depth to the story, highlighting the contrast between the giants' extraordinary strength and their severe limitations in understanding natural dangers. The story of Mars seeking Enoch's counsel and Enoch's inability to provide an immediate answer highlights the tension and complexity in the relationships between humans, giants, and divine beings. Although Enoch possesses wisdom and connections to heavenly powers, he is not a judge or an absolute authority, but merely a messenger who must seek guidance from God himself. The uncertainty in seeking answers, especially when faced with ominous dreams and signs of catastrophe, underscores the fleeting nature of understanding in this world, even for those believed to be more powerful than humans. The story also illustrates the conflict in the giants' fate. They look upon a tablet that witnessed the end of the Watchers, the fallen angels, and see that their destiny appears sealed. However, notably, this tablet is not only a sign of doom, but also hints at the possibility of salvation, a chance their parents, the Watchers, did not have. This signifies that in this world, even powerful or divine beings have opportunities for redemption and repentance. It raises questions about the potential for change and salvation, even when destruction seems inevitable. This duality is what makes the Book of Giants particularly intriguing. It not only provides deeper insights into the Nephilim, but also broadens our understanding of these mysterious beings, exploring aspects previously untold in ancient religious texts. This text emerges as an intriguing example of ancient Jewish apocalyptic literature, depicting not only catastrophic events, but also reflecting the religious beliefs and worldview of that era. These dark events are portrayed as more than a battle between good and evil. They reflect the decay of divine characters and the complex relationship between humans and the divine. Whether in the Dead Sea Scrolls or Manichaean tradition, both texts explore significant themes such as the ability of angels to act independently of divine will, the dangerous effects of their union with humans, and the consequences the giants bring to the world. These stories serve as not only warnings about corruption and destructive impacts, but also raise profound questions about the nature of power, free will, and the responsibility for the actions of supernatural beings. The Book of Giants is not merely a mythical story, but also a profound lesson on redemption, wisdom, and the limits of divine power. It highlights an important theme. Divine order and laws are essential in maintaining the stability of the universe. When powerful beings like giants or fallen angels violate these rules, they set in motion grave consequences, not only for themselves but also for the earthly world. This story invites us to reflect on the relationship between humans and the divine, especially on how our actions and decisions can have lasting impacts on life and the environment around us. When the natural order is broken, when moral and spiritual principles are ignored, chaos is inevitable. The giants, despite their strength and might, cannot escape the consequences of this violation. They face not only divine punishment, but also the collapse of a world they can no longer control. Through the story of the confrontation between good and evil, between corruption and salvation, the Book of Giants reminds us that every action, whether of humans or divine beings, has far-reaching consequences. It encourages us to carefully consider our decisions and to understand that we cannot live outside the grand principles of morality and spirituality that the universe demands. Ultimately, this story poses a challenging question. What legacy are we leaving in our era as we ignore the divine and natural laws governing the world? This question invites us to reflect on both individual and collective responsibility in maintaining universal order, and encourages us to work towards building a fairer and more harmonious world. The Book of Giants serves as a reminder to reassess our actions and recognize the consequences our choices may leave on the world we inhabit. Thank you all for staying with us until the end of this video. Although today's video was longer than expected, we wanted to ensure that these important concepts were clearly explained before delving into the main content. You are the best audience, and we are deeply grateful for your support in building this community. Wishing you peace and a wonderful day. See you in the next videos.